If you guys are as speechless as we are right now, then do not go anywhere. We're about to recap episode 9 of Wayward Pines, Walcott Prep. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Cue creepy music.
Come on.
Guys,
This episode.
what just happened?
I mean, really?
And this could not be the more perfect after show, as we have a very special guest with us in the studio right now. So before I introduce him, I'm your host, Kanika Lal. Follow me on Twitter at Kanika Lal. And to my left, I have the wonderful...
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Nino. You can always find me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
And I'm Jordana Morfin. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Jordana_Morfin.
Hey guys, I'm Paige Bonanno. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Paige Bonanno. I'll give it back to you, Kanika, for our
You may
guest.
hate him, you may love him. It doesn't matter. He's here with us. Please let me introduce Tom Stevens.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Jason, I hate and I love you at the same time.
We
I don't
hate
know
that
how to
we
feel.
love you, or we love that we hate you. Can you also tell the fans and the viewers your social media handle?
My Twitter is @_Tom Stevens, and my Instagram is Tom Stevens Actor.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
So I think a lot of fans right now who are watching this are wondering, is Jason really dead? Is this the end of it?
Is this the end of Jason? It could be, it couldn't be. I mean,
A lot of us saw this coming, though.
we all got the feeling that he was dead, but we did see him still mumbling a few little words at the end, moving around a little bit, so I guess we really don't know.
I know.
That's what happened. Remember when Ethan died, and I was like, "Nah, he survived that crazy, elevator situation. He's gonna come back." And no, he's dead.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind he was dead.
Well, your character died in season 1,
Yeah.
and you just came back, so who knows what happens at the end of this.
Anything's
but-
possible.
Exactly. Anything's possible.
I mean, when you first found out about this, though, in the script, what was your first reaction?
Which part?
That Carrie was going to kill you. I mean, a lot of it. Though we're going to talk about how the big reveal of your mom, but
Yeah, I found out a few. I called out the writer. I was like,
Oh, really?
okay, how do I die? and he sat me down and we had a conversation about it. And he kind of said like, it's gonna be this or this. And you'll find out when you get the script.
oh, interesting.
So I had like two kind of sort of Damocles hanging over my head situations, and it was terrifying.
Wow.
And then I read the script and I was like, okay, that works.
That works.
Oh, okay. So it was better than maybe the other option.
Let's go around though first and just say our favorite lines before we dive into the episode.
All right.
Of course, you would go first over there.
Yeah, you guys are
stealing
always
my lines.
I have some pretty good lines, but I'm
It's
going to let
fine.
you guys get the good ones. This
Go ahead.
one's, it's still pretty good. It's from Carrie. She says, "This may be Idaho, but we're not that twisted."
Okay.
That was
I
funny.
like that.
That's the irony of Wayward Pines. You starve to death or get eaten alive.
That is like a good one. I love
Okay,
that
you
one.
can take the other ones that we thought.
And
we
that
were
was the
gonna
one
say.
I wanted, so
Okay.
I always get stuck with the okay ones. But anyways, go Nino.
Mine is sometimes you just have to do what your heart tells you to do.
Ah, very true. That's a good advice. Thanks, Rebecca. Mine is, I wanted to be the first face you saw when you woke up. First of all, this was a very sad ending, but also it's so interesting about the parallels about the birth of Jason and also the death of Jason and how they kind of juxtapose that. So I thought that was interesting. I wanted to shout that out. Okay, let's get into the beginning of the episode, though, when we open up with a flashback
Okay.
of Pilcher looking to adopt a little Jason
little
for
baby.
his beautiful town of Wayward Pines.
I said it. I said it from the get-go. This is too easy. This cannot be the mama. There's no way this could be the mom. That was too fast, too quick, and they never write like that. There's always a twist. And later on, we find out there's a huge twist.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see the backing of how he was trying to select who and what. Walcott Prep was a really prominent preparatory school. The girl who was pregnant was supposed to have an interview with Princeton. But she was, she was pregnant, so they had to, pause the interview or whatnot. So you could just see how how good of a selection he was trying to get for the person who was supposed to be the baby or his heir to Wayward Pines.
What's interesting, I don't think we ever even thought that he might have been adopted. We were like, oh, maybe Pilcher and Pam had a like brother-sister incest thing. Like we never even considered
You
the...
guys are gross.
Oh, yeah, we thought about some crazy theories on
Wayward
this
Pines
show.
is crazy, man.
Yeah, then again.
You never really know here.
Oh yeah, it was just never... We never had
Everything
an
caught
honest.
us off guard, right?
Because that seems like something that's so simple. and we are always trying to think over the top for Wayward
I
Pines.
mean,
But
what we found out in the end was pretty gross anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
It wasn't
none of
quite
us saw that
simple.
coming. Did any of you guys out there saw that coming? Let us know. That was crazy. But we'll get to that. And also, there was such a theme in this show too. I don't know if you want to chime into this, Tom, but like of selecting, the process of selecting when it
Right.
comes to choosing the chosen one for the town. When it came to choosing who could stay in the pod,
yeah.
it's just. I mean, I guess in today's world, we could see that as a little bit of race that goes into it. You know how like I feel like a lot. This show is really relevant to today's issues.
Yeah, when you kind of when you're forced to make a decision about something, and I mean, like from Jason's standpoint, he's like, we need to pick the right people for
Yeah.
this, and then Yedlin's standpoint, which is like a way more, I guess, ethical,
Right.
a lottery.
Yeah.
And then what happens if we save a bunch of 12-year-olds?
Right.
Everybody that gets saved, and they don't know how to like grow food,
Right.
Be doctors, be anything. They like what happens if that's the society that
Right.
survives by chance. But then you're looking at the other side of it, which is he's gonna be killing a lot of people, a lot
Right.
of good people. It's messed up, and
It is.
it's a terrible idea or a terrible situation to ever be put in.
It's hard to choose, and I'm always like, no, Jason, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. This time I thought, yeah, actually, we're thinking things through
Yeah.
and trying to make things better for humankind.
But to Dr. Yedlin's point, though, if you're going to do that, then you have to do it for everybody, and you can't be an exception. You can't keep Carrie here because she's obviously damaged and defective, if you're going to say that.
Yeah.
Do you think Jason was actually going to kill Carrie, though?
He broke down. You saw what happened.
Before he found out about the mom, anything else? I don't.
So can we just jump further into that? So,
Oh,
like, people are gonna
I know. I
talk.
feel like we have to
Wait,
watch
let's do
it,
it.
but I'm just getting into that.
You're saying you think
Thinking
he...
about it.
Okay, no, I want to pause that. I want to wait.
Okay,
I want to
we'll
wait
wait
till
for
we
that.
get there. But keep that question in mind. Let's first talk about Xander and Theo, too. How they, it seems that Rebecca chose her mate.
Oh,
She
yeah.
chose Xander.
Definitely did.
So good for you. Props for you. I feel really bad for Theo. I mean, it
He's
seems
so
like he's
beautiful though. He's so tall and he's nice and he's Australian.
Xander? Oh, yeah, I love Xander.
Yeah, you do.
For sure. I love all the males on the show. I'm not going to lie. Theo, you, Xander. I think you guys are all good looking and swab. Whatever.
Jason's here, y'all.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
happy? Excited?
But I feel so bad for Theo, too. I mean, I know he's focusing on his work and keep maintaining Wayward Pines, but poor guy. He's alone, but he seems to just be focused. He tells Xander, we got to team up against Jason. He has to leave town.
Which is crazy. Like, look, Theo looks like he wanted to kill, like, find a way to kill.
He was holding a gun,
Jason.
wasn't he?
Yeah, he had a gun.
Yeah.
He just looked
I
like he was
know.
going to use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he was trying to say, hey, we have to do this. We have to find a way to overthrow him in a sense. But it was almost like, I'm not telling you to kill him, but I think we should kill him. Just like how he talked to Carrie was like, you're gonna have to take him out. Like what? You tell somebody's wife like you have to kill your husband to make this work.
Right.
It's crazy. Like I feel like Theo's tipping as well too, as far as what's going on. Yeah.
And then also we find out about the shortage of food. And we also see a little bit more of a leadership role from CJ. He kind of comes in and out, his character in this season. I love him. He's such a strong actor.
Oh yeah.
All these actors come from movie background, which is amazing how they put into the TV scene. And also, you're kind of new to the TV series too. I mean, you've done mostly films,
No, I've
Or have you
kinda
done
jumped
some-
back and forth. Like my credits are kind of balanced.
right? But this is your first time you're actually like a lead
4
role,
months
which
as a
is
lead
like
rather than
a
just like a regular.
transition.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's great.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Still hate you sometimes.
Sometimes.
Love you.
But I was saying too, like we've grown to love. At the beginning, we all hated Jason, obviously, and
Yeah.
then like even as the season progressed, we hated him at the beginning, and then it just kind of moved, and we all kind of got to the point where we're like, you know what? Jason's not a bad guy. Like he's actually a really, really good person. And you were saying that too. That like you and your fiance at home, you're like Jason lived with us. He was a good guy.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
we loved him. I mean, he was one of my favorite characters. I mean, he was great. He was great.
His balance of, like we talked about in the beginning, of being a hero and a hero. It's very
A hero
hard to
and-
pull off.
right.
It went with writing, with acting, so it was done very well. So yeah, back to the pot situation of how, they have to kind of put everyone back. That's Jason's solution about putting everyone back to sleep because of the shortage of food. Do you think that was a good solution? Do you think that was a good part on his
I thought
decision on his part?
It's just so weird that. By the way, let's talk about the number really quick. 571. It's so like 571.
yeah.
I feel like that
I
has
know.
some meaning in some sort of situation. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the writer has a background to why that number was chosen.
There are a lot of hidden meanings on the show.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but I don't know. You're this the way you decided to select the situation. I feel like it would be such a hard thing for a leader to do, because you're thinking of everything as you want it to be fair in a sense, but you also want to make sure you're going to be ready for when you guys wake up after X amount of years, and you have the right people that you have with you. But then, you know, you have Theo here, Dr. Yeldon, who's trying to be the voice of logic, but I feel like all he's thinking about at the moment is making sure you're dead so he can take over.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, that's a tipping point for him. I want to see him in the season finale. I feel like he might just like go overboard.
It doesn't even seem necessarily to me like he like is so desperate to take over. I just feel like he hates Jason in general. You know?
That's what I'm saying too. And look, he puts aside his situation with Xander. I don't feel like that's put aside all the way too. I feel like he has things in business he wants to finish off with Xander as well too. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Theo could be
hasn't
like the
pinned the
new
agenda.
like.
I have a question
know?
for you guys. I know we've talked about this before, but you know how when Jason goes out there and he's telling the town, you know, we're gonna go back to sleep, and obviously everyone's reacting kind of differently. People are like, really, we're gonna go back to sleep, like for how many more years? Like if you were in this situation, would you just want to die at this point?
There are a lot of situational. What would you do?
Yeah, like what would you do if you were, you know, a resident of Wayward Pines?
The funny thing about this is that, like, not getting into the, I've said this before, but like not getting into the whole like Hitler Youth thing.
Yeah.
But if you put me in a situation, like if there was a car accident and I need to get people out of a burning vehicle, I'm that guy. So I think that I would be in the position that Jason would go. I'd be more on the Xander side, where I think I'd be kind of keeping back from all the politics of it, but doing what I needed to do.
Right.
You're gonna do whatever it takes.
Do whatever it takes to survive. That's it.
Well,
and
you-
also protect my family.
Jason's character, I mean, he said that too. He was like, how many people can I save? You know, it wasn't like who can we take, but he said, how many people can I save? And that line kind of hit me, like, he is a good person. He wants to save these people, you know?
Okay, but that's flash forwarding. I want to ask, which is such a big theme of this show too, about keeping evolution the way it is.
Right.
Because humans have destroyed this planet. It seems, with global warming, with the environment. I mean, like with everything, with climate, with the environment, and you have to let Mother Nature take its course. So let's say you knew about this, and this is an open-end discussion. It could go on forever. If you knew about the situation, about the involvement of humans, would you let it happen? Would you be like Pilcher? Would you fight for it? I mean, how much is a discussion going around, maybe amongst you and your co-stars? And
if the resources were there to like actually pick people and put them into the future, I mean, my friends and I, we had like the Pink Manifesto. If something went wrong in the world, like a zombie apocalypse, we like kind of like sitting around one night, just figured out a path, how to get out of the city, where we would go. We go to the woods. You know, you just do things like that. You think like that, because if ultimately, what would you do? Would you lay down in the middle of the road and wait for a car to hit you, or would you try and fight?
It's almost like when you're in a natural
some people would
disaster.
want to just let it go and be like, let's just take up the most of life and
could
let
be.
everyone kill us.
You guys remember in Titanic when the boat was sinking, right?
A lot of people just let themselves
And
die.
that old couple was like, we lived a good life. Let's just go ahead and see
Yeah,
what-
I guess well, they were old.
Right.
Young people want to still fight. Like, we have so much life ahead of us. Why give up
Exactly.
now?
First generation, right?
First generation. Millennials.
Okay.
And I feel like if I had the choice to either go back in a pod or literally get eaten alive, I would pick to go back in a pod.
I know.
It's not just about dying. It's about the fact that you're about to get eaten alive.
And also, it's so interesting, too, because I think Kate mentioned, or she told you in the last season about how humans evolve.
Actually, I was going to bring this up. That's the first episode. When she's in the hospital bed
Of
and
this
Jason's
season.
sitting in the chair, my Jason, and she says, we have to evolve, and you haven't.
But you're refusing, exactly.
You're refusing to change.
Yeah.
That's the thesis of the Jason character. The only way to truly live and survive is to change, because that's what nature does. Nature adapts. Like, plants will learn to grow directionally into the sun if they're like trapped in a certain shady area. So they'll fight for the right ways. They will change to survive.
Right.
So
But
Jason was stuck.
Jason is stuck in his ways,
Because it was hard for you to grow in general. You had to grow up pretty fast, in a sense. After Pilcher died, you got the next key to Wayward Pines, right? You didn't really have a chance to be a child, just like the kids here at Wayward Pines, where they don't really have a chance to be a child, or enjoy their youth, because they have to deliver and give babies, you know what I mean, to make the generation grow and grow and grow.
I'll give a quick insight to Jason. For how I played Jason, I played him as a very lonely person. He came from, like, his childhood was mainly spent in a room, like this size,
Like that, right.
with a data pad that gave him all his lessons, like science, history, math. It was all there. And then either Megan or Pam would come and get him and take him on a walk. Not connect him with anybody, but take him on a walk on his own, or take him to Pilcher, where Pilcher would like go, here's your coin, here's an Abby, here's a thing, you need to fight this, and then I'd go back to this room. And that's where I brought Jason from, where he was a very lonely person, and all he wanted to do was connect with people.
That's so interesting to hear.
That episode, I forgot. I don't remember which one it was.
Birthday
It's like
episode?
a birthday party.
Yeah.
That's when we
Exactly,
saw him, and he says, like, I don't think the other kids really like me.
these aren't my friends. I don't know them.
Sad.
Yeah.
Right. That backstory was
Well,
really cool.
outsiders tend to take charge because they've been bullied. They don't fit in. So, like, you know what? Screw you guys. I'm going to take charge of this country or whatever, and then I'm going to show you who's in charge. Which is why a lot of it just goes to shambles. Speaking of a lot of people. Speaking of leaders, I read that you actually studied different leaders and dictators.
Yep.
So who do you think in maybe today's time or in history would really relate and cheer on Jason's character?
We went there, folks.
We did.
I was really hoping you wouldn't, and I think it goes without saying.
It's okay. Say it.
That's fine. I think everybody's connecting that dot themselves. Like he's in the media enough.
Wait, who was Donald Trump?
Yeah,
Okay, it could have been anyone, but yeah, I mean, he's obviously.
I'm saying that, like,
Why not anyone?
I didn't play Jason. I hope to not give off like just like the Z Kyle Hitler thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also studied Che Guevara and like like Colombian guerrilla warfare, those kinds of people that feel like they need to do something for the greater good, and then when nobody is able to, like, nobody's left alive to tell them that they're wrong, who's to tell them that they're wrong? Like, if their conscience has driven them so far into the to the point of no return, who's going to be the one that's going to say, okay, now you got to stop?
Right.
And so if somebody thinks they're right, they're just going to keep going.
And that's,
Sorry, go ahead.
That's why we hate to love you in a sense, because we know you don't. You're not coming with any ill will in a sense. It's just who you are.
Exactly.
It's kind of what you've learned throughout the whole time. This is what Pilcher has taught you. And if you're not around people, right, who can tell you otherwise, you're gonna think the way you've been taught has just been the same way you have to go throughout the whole time.
Exactly.
It's the way you were taught, but also I think a lot of leaders base off their beliefs off religion, right? In today's age in history, I think your religion, Pilcher was a symbolism of religion, more than just a person or a mentor. He was actually your faith. He was like your Bible, the only way you could go about.
The bronze statue.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
literally.
we see that with everybody in Wayward Pines. They have pictures of Pilcher all over the town.
Right, of course,
You know?
of course. He was their icon.
homes.
Yeah, in their homes and everything.
Yeah.
It's just there's just so much symbolism in the show. Maybe we overanalyze it too much. That's why I think the writers do that for us to interpret. But there's just so many parallels.
I think the big thing with Jason, and for audience members to look at Jason and realize that if somebody is in power that is doing something and they have the power to change it, then change it. That's it.
That's true.
Right.
So good.
But there's so many ways of going about it. It's so touchy. It's so what?
But that's why I like that Jason's always telling the truth about things. You
Yeah.
know, he goes against that way of Pilcher because he, I guess, doesn't believe, and the people of Wayward Pines don't believe that you should be lied to and everything. And Jason will go ahead and tell the truth. So I like that about his character, that, you know, even though he wants to follow Pilcher and do the right things, he still knows the difference a little bit.
He's learning more and more now every day as it goes along.
Yeah.
Versus trying to hide things. He wants to be a little bit. You know, we see him grow throughout the season.
Exactly.
Last question about your character before we move on. Is there anything that you relate to in Jason? I'm sure a lot, but maybe some big things that stick out.
Yeah, I relate to his need to be loved, his kind of his passion to be like cared for, because everybody's kind of got that in them.
Definitely. Yeah.
So
That's big of you to admit.
yeah,
That's very big of you to admit.
thank you.
We all want to be loved all the other day.
We do.
It's true though. And you're like, I'm single still, guys. Anyway, moving on. So,
Waiting for that right there.
It's true.
3, 2, 1. There you go. Yeah.
okay. But Theo tells Carrie in this episode. Doesn't he? He goes like not Carrie. Who was it?
Wait, what?
Jason. Sorry.
Oh, I was like, Theo
You
did
guys are
tell
like,
Carrie
what?
to
I'm
do
still
something,
in my
which
own
is
world.
crazy.
From the, yeah.
But
I mean,
who you were
he was-
referencing to?
I'm talking about Theo telling Jason about
That he can't take care of
eliminating Carrie from keeping her in the pod.
Shade, man. Shade all over the place with that. I was like, he went there, went that far to say, you don't want to take any defectives, and then turn it against him.
I was going to ask, did you like that, how he kind of went a little bit against... I don't know, he kind of turned them against each other.
I liked it for the
Carrie
plot.
and
I didn't
Jason.
like it from coming out of Theo. I was like, Theo, man, you're such an asshole right now. What's going on?
I feel like it was necessary, though.
It was necessary.
It was definitely necessary.
I mean, we've seen this rift between Jason and Theo
Yeah.
the entire season.
Yeah.
Like, I don't expect anything less of him at this point.
Yeah.
But do you really think Jason would kill Carrie? Not obviously we found
That
out,
was-
but
yeah.
before finding that out, would he?
No.
I don't think so
know.
at all. There's no way.
He's
Especially
so
when
in
he
love.
reacted. You know, when she came into the room, he
Yeah.
reacted just like.
Yeah, he was so in love, but after the fact, imagine when you find out what we're going to talk about in a little bit.
Right,
It's
yeah.
super shocking, and it
Yeah.
kind of just digs such a deep, like, almost like knife down your heart. Like, what's going on here?
Do
My
you
whole life.
do you think that he would have?
No.
No.
I don't
Yeah,
think
there's
he
no
would have.
way.
I think he was too in love with her.
I think he was too in love with it. There was a scene from episode 8, and we read episode 9 when we were shooting 8, obviously, but we read it a week ahead. And Jen Lynch, the director of the episode, we sat down with that episode, or that scene when I show her the basement.
Right.
Yeah.
And there was this big question in the air. If I try and kill her in the next episode, am I telling the truth in this one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we made the decision that the best way to do it was tell the truth in this one and then like fall in that one.
Huh.
So
Huh.
yeah, I think, and up to the point when he's sitting with Rebecca, and Rebecca says, like, you know, it's not the main thing, nobody's got a gun to your head. I think he's made a decision that he's going to keep her.
Right.
Especially when she says, do what your heart tells you.
So you're saying the other option was to lie to her in that first episode and then go against her in the next
Because
episode?
if he makes the decision, he finds out that she can't have babies. There's there's two roads to take. There's one, okay, then I'm not going to use you anymore, which I don't love you. But then it's the other one, which is I love you anyways.
Yeah.
I'm still going to breed
Right.
because that's the necessity of our species. But I'm still going to be with you.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
And we talked about that reaction too in last week's episode. We thought, what was he going to do? Kill her? How could he not, say I love you back? We thought about that.
Well, there was a questionable thing he said, though, which he goes, well, I wish I would have known because I would have done things differently. And at first we were like, oh, maybe he would have.
Right.
What does that mean? Like, so you would have chosen her. You wouldn't have chosen her.
I'll
if you
probably
knew?
not built a underground bunker for them. Yeah.
Perfect.
I went that way. That was my choice. But
We go all the way to the left sometimes, and we just don't even know what we're talking
But
about.
Carrie did tell Theo, though, that, it's kind of sad. I don't think Carrie maybe feels and sees how much Jason really does care for her then. Because she said, well, he just loves Pilcher too much.
yeah.
She told that to Theo. So I don't, do you
You
think
she's
that...
jealous?
No, wasn't that Theo's line?
Theo said that
I thought-
Jason loves Pilcher too
To
much.
Carrie.
Why did I hear a woman's voice say that? Am I just going crazy?
In your head, you wanted it to be a woman's voice. Didn't
Yeah,
work
it
out
was-
that
But
way.
Carrie knows then. She feels the love from Jason. I mean, she's pretty...
Yeah, she walks into that room scared, so I think it's
Yeah.
it's you trust a dog to a point until it's like rabid.
Yeah.
And you don't know what's going
Right.
to happen with you. Your best friend, like a dog that you
Right.
raised, and suddenly it's sick and something's gone wrong and it's in the corner and it's scared. You don't know what it could do.
Right.
Right.
Let's go back to
Sure.
Pilcher's to the flashback of Pilcher. We find out, gets a phone call that Abigail's son did not make it.
Right. So there's no Jason there. Told y'all from the beginning. Knew it.
Do you have any, before I move on, do you have any comments about that scene in the garden? It was a beautiful scene, I thought, in the botanical garden.
It's beautiful.
When he
pretty.
was talking to Abigail.
About the book,
Right.
which is related to the idea of Wayward
They
Pines.
seemed like a good match in a sense where he was like, that's the perfect person to take because she's as intellectual as him or whatnot.
Yes,
This baby
she
could be
questions and
great
challenges.
as far as natural selection in a sense or whatnot. You know what I mean? Even though it was really natural the way she's selecting her. But just didn't work out. But womp womp womp, there's so much more.
So much more.
much
I mean,
more.
when
Crazy.
he was about to
Like-
meet the mother of Jason, literally, we could tell you what we went through when watching it. It's Rebecca. It's Teresa. It's Carrie.
Oh my gosh. It was,
Your wife is your mama. Okay? Now that reaction is just a secondary reaction to my real reaction, which you can check on his Instagram later on.
Yeah.
What was your reaction when you read the script?
Oh, it blew my mind, and I was so stoked. I was like, you know when you see something really good on TV, and it like it gets you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like this?
literally.
Yeah,
I haven't
I
had
had
a
the
reaction
exact
like
same
this in
reaction.
forever.
Like Erica, my fiance, she was like, she saw I got it, and she's like, okay, so yeah, and I'm like reading it, and she had a shower, and she's like, she's in the, and I'm, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, what?
Reactions.
I can't even
I
say
can't
it.
talk. Yeah,
Right.
sorry.
You're like,
God.
What did your fiance think of it? She must have been like,
She loved it.
she loved it, right?
Yeah,
probably
it's
like,
that
twisted.
messed up, twisted thing that you get. You can do
Oh,
it.
so good. Like I
love
almost
Twisted.
fell back. Like I literally, I literally looked at everyone, squatted down for a second, had to breathe, and come back up to air. It was that good.
It was, I'm not kidding, one of the best twists
So
I've ever
good.
seen.
I feel like we're usually pretty good, you know, with
guess
like
so.
our predictions.
We were spot on this
but
whole season.
This never crossed my mind
No.
ever.
No.
Can I say it?
Yeah.
Reverse Back to the Future and banged his mom.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
Reverse Back to the Future and banged his mom. That's what's going on right now. Oh
They
my
could
god.
literally make a comedy out of that moment.
No, it
this
could.
is like this is an actual moment, scene, whatever that like a lot of
Good.
writers and directors can steal. I'm telling
I
you.
just still can't believe it.
It's original. I loved it.
Yeah.
They're gonna try to steal it. They're not gonna get my reaction anymore. Cause like I saw this already. Wait,
Yeah, this has been done.
It's done.
But she was the perfect candidate for somebody like Pilcher to just pilch.
I never made that connection.
Wait, is that true? Can I actually say that? That makes sense.
Pilcher.
Right,
He
great.
pilches people up and takes
Yeah,
them away.
I mean, like what a what a history that she had that she just wants to forget. I mean, literally the lines about how I want memories to replace this. I can never have a new life.
He said you can be different. You can make a different life.
Right.
Yeah, and I think
Instantaneously.
actually a lot of people, just speaking in today's society, a lot of people might be able to actually relate to this because unfortunately people are just not. I don't know whether it's karma, whatever the reasons are, but they just had unfortunate circumstances. So yes, this relates to her, her situation. So is it confirmed that she pretty much, I mean, she was hurt by her father, hurt by her stepbrother, so she also needs to be loved as well, just as much as Jason, especially by a male figure. She definitely lacks that in her life. So it's confirmed that she was raped then?
That's what I.
I mean, that's what we're
Assumed.
guessing. But she said I was never hurt, meaning I don't know if she just never got emotionally hurt from the situation and she's
Yeah,
trying
are
to
we-
hide it. But I feel like there might have been some sort of abuse. In her
Abuse, yeah,
family.
in the relationship.
I don't know how far the abuse went or whatnot. Especially kind of just like how she had who the dad is to the situation.
Right.
Which I feel like they could pick up in another season and like
Yeah,
their
because
dad
they
was
never
crazy.
said.
They could totally
I never said
expand
anything
that.
about it.
No, she said she was hurt by her dad, her stepbrother, but she never said anything about her stepdad. And she said she's known him since she was 7.
I don't know.
Yeah,
We're looking to you for help.
I took it as yes, like the friend
Yeah.
forced himself
Yeah.
On her, right?
and I think that her like the thing that's really beautiful about Carrie is she looks at him and she goes, he didn't hurt me.
Yes.
Like regardless of the fact that she was like assaulted,
Yeah.
she didn't let it get her.
Right.
She held on to
strength.
herself.
And I think
Yeah,
that's what
that's-
happened with her family. I think they did assault her as well, but she didn't let it.
But
didn't
then
let it affect her.
she did. There was that little. We're
Yeah.
not that twisted, and
Right,
My
exactly. So
favorite
like
quote, yeah.
so that line was just kind of off. It was like a back and forth thing, but so she
No,
did-
that's a great point.
Yeah.
That, she is strong and
Yeah.
stronger than she appears, maybe.
right, and she's not going to let that situation affect her on the long run. And I think that's where Pilcher was like, man, I think I could help her, and plus I want the mother to come in a sense with the baby or whatnot. But more importantly, I think he felt for her. There was a deeper connection. He was
Yeah.
like, I can give you a whole nother life, and you
Yeah.
know what, I'm going to do it for you.
sorry. Yeah,
Go ahead.
No, I just see Abigail.
Yeah.
Abby. Abigail in the garden, and she's reading this book, and she's analyzing like a great piece of literature, and she goes, "And they make us read it."
Yeah.
And she has everything in front of her, and she still doesn't truly look at the beauty of life.
Right.
And
Wow.
then Carrie, who is like chasing a dream, and
Right.
has nothing. That's the line between people nowadays. If
Oh
you
my
really
god, you
look
just
at
gave
it.
me goosebumps.
Yeah.
That's so true.
That's really good.
She has everything in front of her and she can't appreciate it, whereas Carrie has
Right.
nothing and she appreciates everything.
Yeah.
And that's why you take nothing for granted, no
No,
matter how
definitely.
much you have. It's hard to forget and be grateful for what you have.
Yeah.
No, it's hard also when people come from affluent families or whatnot.
Yeah, with a spoon in their mouth, which is good for you.
Right.
But-
But then they don't. It's almost like at times like they feel like they don't need to work as hard, and then you have people who work who don't come from anything. They work even harder. Not to say that everyone who comes from affluent family who
No.
doesn't work as hard. Never.
No.
But I'm just saying. Statistically, you see people fight harder when they don't have things, and they see more of like life in front of them than they do see, say, materialistic situations or whatnot. That was a really, really good point, man.
So many life lessons we learn from. Don't go to school, guys. Just watch Wayward Pines. You can just learn the real morals of life.
I'm just wondering
Go to school.
why
guys.
Pilcher.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Why Pilcher
Don't
didn't
want to
wait
promote
for Wait Carrie
on
up.
AFTERBUZZ TV. What were you saying, Paige? Sorry.
I'm wondering why Pilcher didn't wake Carrie up when Jason was a baby so she could help take care of him if that was his real mom.
No. That's a good question.
I think it was Jason was woken up for a reason, and that's to be raised to be the leader. And he was raised by Pam and Megan, who were the people that really
Right.
took charge of raising him. So if they had a third person in there
Yeah.
It's so
who
weird.
wasn't an original, like a Pilcher or Megan, then
She would try to raise him the way that she wanted to and not
it would
necessarily the way
change
that
the plan, and everything was planned with
Right.
Jason. Everything, except for when when he was left to his own devices and he accidentally grabbed the file.
Right.
What's that significance of the line Carrie said about how it's the book of life and it's written?
like Wayward Pines is already written, is what you're saying? Like
No, it's about predestination, but I guess that line was said when Pilcher. I guess she was trying to say Pilcher rewrote her life. Pilcher was responsible for writing her life,
Right.
pretty much.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
you look at the situation she was
Because
in.
we think it would be God,
And
but
do you
in her
remember-
situation, it's Pilcher.
I think the reason why Pilcher said, "Yeah, your baby's going to go to Texas" or whatever, and that's what she kept in her mind, and Pilcher, or they never let her know that her baby's actually here, was because she wanted to live a new life. She wanted to
Right.
find a new
Yeah,
life.
of course.
So this was her way to basically come into a whole new life.
so he would have just woken her up and never told
Exactly.
never told
And
her
I don't
about
think
Jason.
Pilcher was thinking, okay, my son one day is going to pick, his wife, and it's going to be his mama.
Well, I don't think he would have ever let that happen, but
Right.
yeah, he was
I don't
he
think
would've-
Pilcher believed that Jason would have to run the town without
Yeah.
him handing the baton to him personally
He had
Yes.
and
exactly.
helping him take over.
Exactly.
Right.
But then, all of
This is
season
just-
1 happened where people started getting killed.
right.
Yeah. So this was a pretty sad scene when Carrie walks in, and it just when Jason just finds out from the secret file that. And that scene, how it the camera just captured
so intense.
when she had a son, the name, and he just,
Yeah.
oh my God, what did I just see? And then that was a great acting chops by you, by the way.
Right.
And we could all feel Carrie's fear too,
Yeah.
because
Yeah. I
we're
don't know,
thinking, what is he gonna do? Because he
So,
grabs his gun at first, and
She grabbed my arm, and she was just like,
really,
"What's happening?
Jordan,
What's
no,
happening?
that's funny.
What's going on?" But it was that intense. We were
That
feeling it at the
intense. We
moment.
all felt it.
I think we even backed up.
Yeah, we did.
backed
We
away
were
from the
freaking
table.
out.
Right, that's the natural
That's what the
inclination.
video is. What you guys had. Somebody posted your guys'
Yeah, oh, that was a
reaction.
reaction.
So that's that one. So rewatch it. See what you
Yeah,
do
right.
in a point of stress.
He's a point of stress.
You're holding me too.
I know. I was
And Paige, you were also damn, that action. It was intense action by Carrie whipping the
right.
fire. What's that
Yeah,
called?
Carrie,
Rod.
get it?
Carrie was
With a
she was
rod.
going at it. Like,
I mean, she's gonna be a leader, so.
But I'm just. Did she think? I mean, he kind of went for his gun, but he didn't take it out and point it at her or anything. Did she honestly think that he was gonna kill her? Because she started going for things, hitting him on the. You know what I mean? It's her husband, her love of her life. Does she really?
But
She was
see when
caught
he,
up in the-
grabbed her too. He
That's
was just
it.
getting a little bit crazy.
And he was
at
talking
that point.
crazy about how she had a son. Oh no, he found out. Is he gonna kill me because I didn't tell the truth?
Right.
Yeah, and you were saying that the best way you could describe this is just Jason having a mental breakdown.
Yeah, and Carrie has always been his beacon to keep him calm.
Together.
And he knows that if he's ever violent around Carrie, he'll lose her.
Right.
And because he's an inherently violent person due to his upbringing, he's a very disturbed person. So he's been keeping it contained. And then in this scene, he loses it.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't even answer when she said, "What does it matter?"
Yeah.
You know what I
he
mean?
didn't even
Tell
say.
me, do you know the baby's really in Texas?
So we're
no one can
partners in
answer
everything.
Anybody. There was no answer for anybody because they were both in an emotional state, and I think she felt the the imminent danger that was ahead of her. So she had to fight fought back type situation.
Yeah.
Look what happened. You know what I mean?
I mean, that is interesting that you say that Jason is such a, like, he's an actually violent person. I mean, we've seen him be so violent with, you know, shooting people execution style and this and that, but he's so loving to Carrie that it's so, I mean, the contrast is crazy because it's like almost he has like two different personalities.
Yeah.
The way Carrie was like, you know, grabbing things and, you know, swinging at him, she probably, that was kind of her past.
Oh, there you go. I never thought about that.
And also,
she had to fight for it.
maybe the instant connection we saw between Jason and Carrie too, like they are mother and son. So I mean, that might be another reason why he is so loving to her, just inherently.
Yeah, there's a
Exactly.
connection.
Definitely
Yeah.
inherently with that. Yeah, which is why he felt a connection. I always believe in, like, I mean, I believe in past lives, not because I'm, like, you know, an Indian hippie, but I just, I believe that sometimes you find somebody and your souls connect, and I think it's because of your past life, and in this case.
I think that's exactly.
Heritage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, and then we get to a quick flashback of Jason eating ice cream, looking at the file. What the hell is the significance of the ice cream in Wayward Pines? You have to know, or is it just like a secret? Is it not just
Yeah,
Find out.
from
Okay.
Terrence Howard to
so
Here we go, guys. Oh my god.
Is this
I know, I'm like
no,
excited. I'm like,
This isn't,
what is the ice
this isn't
cream?
an explanation.
know.
This isn't an explanation, but
AfterBuzz exclusive.
this is how I found out that I was still alive on Wayward Pines.
Okay.
So I had finished episode 9. I had died.
Right.
4 months later, I got a phone call, and it was from a props lady, and she said, "Hey, I'm just calling Tom. Are you like vegan?" And I'm like, "You're kidding. What? Are you lactose intolerant or anything?" "No." "Okay, do you like rum raisin ice cream?"
Rum raisin.
And I was like, "Sure. What? Who is this?" And this is props on Wayward Pines. I just need to know. Can you eat rum raisin ice cream? Because we want to have you. Because there's that scene with Terrence Howard. And we're gonna do a throwback to it. Who is this? And I ended up getting on with my agent, and the producers then contacted us, and it was like, okay, yeah, you're still alive.
That was
the
I
thing.
love that. That was your way of kind of telling you, hey, you're back.
You're back is rum raisin ice cream.
cute. Rum
even
raisin.
Even if
hate
it doesn't
that.
mean anything, it's a magical little thing that
It
has
is.
been, and it's so good.
Rum raisin ice cream.
Yeah, I have to try that actually.
So maybe the writers, they just love ice cream.
yeah.
You know, when you get something that's magic, you don't mess with it.
Yeah. You let it be, let it run its course.
There's a significance, guys. It's deeper than we know.
It is. There's always something deeper.
They have cows.
So you do watch
They have
this.
licorice. Like, come on.
Yeah.
They have everything.
How?
They're like
How is it
rationing
possible?
things, and he, like, Xander's still like biting on licorice. Like, how the hell? Like,
Yeah.
you have candy right now. Like,
And then we get to the scene where he, you know, wakes Carrie up.
It was really cute.
oh, awkward Jason is really cool. By the way.
Yeah,
I
awkward
know.
Jason
Yeah.
who has a thing for his mom. Hey, it's called
He was such a baby
Oedipus,
Jason.
Oedipus Rex. This is also goes
Yeah,
back
he
to history.
cut out his eyes, right, when he found out that it was his mother.
Yeah, I think that's what
Yeah.
happened.
See, when he grabbed that's interesting because when he grabbed the gun, I originally thought he was just gonna like off himself. Like, nah, well,
For a second.
like I've been having sex with my mom. Like, I'm done. Like, I can't handle this. You know?
Yeah, well,
I like that connection. 'Cause
Yeah.
I never got the gun on her.
Yeah.
yeah.
So how did you?
And
Go ahead.
I have a question for you. So, like, what killed you? The gunshot, or did you fall on something?
I think it's the gunshot. It's the
Okay. So
because
you really are dead.
It's like a combination too. Like, she was hitting him and stuff.
Yeah.
well the
You were
point,
bruised up.
the point in place that I got pretty battered, but at the end of the episode I'm not dead. I'm on the table.
Yeah.
That my blood is filling the town.
Right.
I've been shot,
Right.
and I can't say any more than that.
Yeah.
Oh, see, so you're.
you just said you're not dead.
I'm not dead at the end of that.
At the end of it, he's still talking.
Yeah, you're still talking.
So you could still very well.
Well, he
be
says to
alive,
Carrie,
like,
"You'll always
or
be
survive.
safe," and
Yeah.
she
I
is
was
safe.
trying to get you, dude.
Well, there was
You're
there
good.
was one
Like-
interesting.
But that line,
What line?
Walcott Prep,
Oh, yeah.
I taught you well.
And she
Yeah.
still smiled like she.
I like
understood
that. That was cute.
Yeah.
That was cute.
There was something interesting that we had talked about at the end because I was a little confused when we see Jason sitting with the ice cream, finding the file of Carrie, and I was like, wasn't Pilcher still alive during this? I'm confused. And Tom told me that, you know,
She was dead.
this was right after, and you had said about the guy, you know, we were seeing the guy hanging. Can you tell us a little bit about that scene?
Yeah, so the very last episode of season 1, you see me for the very last time when Ben Burke is walking through
Right.
the town going, oh my God, looking at, and he looks down Main Street and there's people hanging. We got the actual same stunt guy from the first season.
Oh, you.
So it was
They-
the same hanging
They
guy.
redid him up, and they hung him up there on a scout, like on a dolly lift,
Yeah.
and he was hanging by,
Exactly
That's
the same.
funny.
Yeah.
The music made it all creepy.
Yeah.
But we are kind of running out of time, which is why I have to cut you guys off. Sorry about that. Before we get to predictions, I just want to ask a few questions to you, Tom Stevens, as an actor, as a person. First of all, moving forward, you worked with so many talented actors, from Melissa Leo to Matt Dillon to Carla Gugino. Am I pronouncing her last name right?
Yeah, you did, yes.
Yeah. I mean, what did you take away from these actors? Is there anyone specifically you just loved working with that really just, challenged you professionally?
You know what? From like top to bottom, I think everybody was teaching me something. Like, I mean, you guys had Tim on the show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tim's a pro. Like, Tim's
So
like
good.
a boom
Yeah.
pro.
He is. Yeah.
Jason Patrick taught me to understand everything. Hope Davis showed me like the amount of worth in understanding how the character makes sense to you. Jaimin Hansu, find organic connection to that. Carrie, like Casey Roll, just like connect and be part of it. Even Christopher, he's like, everybody was a star on this show.
Yes.
That I walk away with an ensemble behind me that I'm so proud to work with.
And you also are big into music. Are you going to be doing that in the future more? I think I heard like with your wife, you might just, or fiance, sorry, soon
We're
to
gonna
be
be married
wife.
in like August.
Okay, good. Oh, yeah, that's
wow,
so soon.
so
Where's the wedding?
Louisiana. We just did like, we're gonna do like a 20-minute wedding.
Oh,
It's
You're
not a
kidding.
big
Shotgun.
deal. Yeah.
Let's go.
Louisiana.
We're literally just like hopping on a
Why
plane going over
Louisiana?
there.
Is that where?
We want to see it.
Interesting.
Oh, they're both from
What a
Canada.
spontaneous couple.
Yeah.
I love that.
What a
So
spontaneous
music, is
couple.
that going to be playing a lot in your future, you think? Or?
Yeah, Erica and I, like, Erica's an amazing singer, and we've brought like recording gear down. We've got our little Martin with a plug-in,
Okay.
and we're gonna be doing a little acoustic album
like
while we're down here. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Sweet.
so cute. What do you have? Do you have anything else working on next? Like
Nope.
films
just
or?
doing the hustle, doing the actor hustle.
grind.
I've got post production on a short. That
Okay.
if I can plug that, we have
Okay.
a Kickstarter going on with that.
Nice, go ahead, yeah.
It's
plug
called
it.
Mommy May.
Mommy May.
Mommy May, and it's a Kickstarter. We're just aiming for our $6,000 mark to get it the fully finished up and into festivals. It's
Sweet.
a beautiful, beautiful story.
Yeah, and that's the actor's life, which is nothing, it's just the way it is. Like, you have this full season of being a series regular, and then you're just kind of back to the grind, right? Which is kind of like what you signed up for. I mean, does that get discouraging at all, ever?
Oh yeah, it does. But you know what? I'm a gypsy. That's it. You can't. You gotta. It's just being a hustler. That's all we
Yeah,
are.
you just can't give up.
I like that. You
Because a
guys-
lot of
I'm
people
gypsy
out
too,
there,
everybody.
we all, including
Gypsy.
you're looking at
Yeah.
gypsies yourself too. We all
Yeah.
are struggling, wanting to make it, and we know how tough this industry is. So you hit something big, and you have to just not let that get to you too. Don't let it get to your head
No.
either. So yeah, also learn life lessons from Tom Stevens himself. Okay, let's get to. Do you guys have any last minute questions for Tom himself before we get to
I
predictions?
think you covered it all.
Yeah.
Covered it all.
Yeah. You've been great. Thank you so much for joining us.
We
Yeah,
could get
thank you,
deeper,
guys.
but we have a time constraint. So catch us in our after show. Okay, predictions for one
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
more episode.
I have no
left.
predictions because I never even saw this coming. So
I mean, guys, my predictions have been like spot on.
I just
Everybody.
want
not last week.
Right.
How about we just
Yeah,
all
so
shush
you'll soon die,
and
remember?
let him just
Yeah.
tell us
Yeah.
what happens?
Yeah.
Okay, just tell us what happens.
Done. Silence.
No,
Episode 10 will air on Wednesday, July 27th on Fox.
That's a pretty good prediction, I think.
I want Margaret and Dr.
Yeldon.
Guys,
Yedlin
Margaret's
to-
back.
Get together?
she's not to get together, but like,
It
interact
seemed
again.
like
together.
the Abbeys were on a hold, on a pause in this
Yeah.
past episode until Margaret was back to her life, and now she's ready,
ready.
and they're ready.
Right.
But I think there has to be some negotiation between Theo and Margaret. He
Yeah.
started something. He started this communication.
I feel like they're going to get to the point, they're not even going to have the time to get into the pods. Like,
Yeah.
it's just going to be a war, and no one's really going to go back to
Here
sleep. It's
is-
just, yeah.
You're looking for it. You
Here
just
is
keep
my-
looking at me.
Here's my prediction, okay? Because I've been right for like the past couple weeks. I'm just saying. I'm just like, all right. So here's my prediction. I feel like they're gonna try to get people in. They're gonna get people into the pods or whatnot. But there's gonna be a select few people who are gonna stay after. Obviously, because it can't take everybody. But I feel like the select group of people that are gonna stay after are gonna be significant because they're gonna try to make peace with the Abbeys at some point. They're gonna try to make it work where they have the people safe, and just in case if it doesn't work out, there's still safe people for however many years that they're gonna wake up to. But there's gonna be some people that are going to start trying to negotiate, in a sense, with the Abbeys or Margaret to try to make this all work out where they could all live in some sort of peace or whatever.
There has to be a harmony and a peace between the humans and the
You
Abbeys.
think they're going to live in harmony at the end of the
Not
episode?
harmony, but I'm just saying that they're going to
Is
start.
that too good to be
something's gonna
true?
happen.
Yeah, it is too good to be true.
I'm just saying. That's my prediction. If I'm right again, oh my gosh, you
I
guys
mean,
owe me ice cream.
They might kill off a lot of people, but there will be some surviving, like Theo, Margaret, Rebecca, Carrie, maybe Jason comes back to life, and
Maybe
they just
can get rid
learn
of
to
you.
live in harmony. There could be a big war, and then
I don't know
the
what
rest who
Theo's
survive
fate is.
harmonize.
I could see something happening to him
Theo.
like happened to.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's gonna flip over somewhere. Like he's just gonna. He's at the point right now where he could either be like really gonna be like the savior for everybody, or he could go be that like guy who just goes over like the cliff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Or it could just be Theo, Carrie, and the Abbeys left with some first generations, like Frank and Ralph. What are their names? Frank and the little Lucy.
Lucy.
God, this is
Guys,
confusing.
oh my gosh, my head hurts, everybody.
As usual, what do you guys think? Because you guys are also good with your predictions. Tom, I hope you enjoyed yourself today.
I did. I
tonight.
really did. This was awesome.
Do you have any final last words?
Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Let's
I hope
hope
you
for
enjoyed this
season
episode.
3.
Yeah, let's hope for season 3. Wayward Pines, keep it supported, keep watching it.
Definitely. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. We have one more episode left, so hold on tight. I don't know why I said that. I'm your host, Kanika Lal. Follow me on Twitter at Kanika Lal and Instagram at You Can Have It Lal.
All right, guys, and once again, it's your boy Nino. You can catch me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, Snapchat too.
I'm Jordana Morfin, and you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jordana_Morfin.
And I'm Paige Bonanno. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Paige Bonanno.
And one more time, your Twitter handle.
I'm Tom Stevens. You can follow me at _Tom Stevens on Twitter and Tom Stevens the actor. No, Tom Stevens actor on Instagram. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
everybody.
See you next week.
Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.